ChemSpark lovers. Welcome back to today's episode. Today, we'll be talking about separation techniques. Have you ever wondered how we can get pure water from muddy water or salt from seawater? Stay tuned and learn more. First of all, why do we separate mixtures? First, in order to get pure substances. Secondly, in order to remove unwanted substances. And thirdly, in order to study the various components in a mixture. So today, we'll be looking at 5 separation techniques for today's class. We have the sieving, the filtration, the decantation, separation funnel, and evaporation. So 1, we have the sieving. Sieving is a technique used to separate solid particles of different sizes using a sieve. Example, we have our corn flour. When you want to separate the flour from the chaff, you use a sieve. The flour, which has a smaller size, passes through the mesh, while the chaff, which has a bigger size, will stay in the sieve. Secondly, we have filtration. Filtration is a method used in separating insoluble solids from liquids using a filter paper and a funnel. Example, we have a mixture of chalk powder with water. When you want to separate such mixture, you pour the mixture into a funnel containing the filter paper. The water, which is the filtrate, passes through the filter paper, while the chalk powder, which is the residue, stays in the filter paper. Thirdly, we have decantation. Decantation is a very simple method used in the separation of liquids from insoluble solids. Example, we have a mixture of sand and water. When you have such mixture, you just allow your sand to settle down. When it settles down, you decant the water and separate it from the sand. So decantation simply means pouring the liquid when the solid has settled down. Next, we have the separation funnel. We use the separation funnel in separating immiscible liquids of different densities. That means liquids that cannot mix together. Example, we have separation of kerosene from water. When you observe such mixture, you see that the water will be down while kerosene will be up. This simply means that water is more dense than kerosene. Water is heavier than kerosene. So to do such separation, you allow the water, which is more dense, to go out first, and then you can collect your kerosene, which is lighter. Lastly, we have the evaporation. Evaporation is a technique used in separating a soluble solid from a liquid. That means a solid that can dissolve in a liquid. Example, salt water. We know that our salt is solid while the water is liquid. But when you mix them together, the salt dissolves. How can you separate such mixture? You use evaporation. When you apply heat to such mixture, the water evaporates, leaving behind the solid salt. Now, each of these techniques have principles. That is the reason why we use such methods for any separation. Firstly, now, the sieving. Principle for sieving is difference in size, difference in particle size. Filtration. The principle is difference in particle size and also the solubility. Next, we have the decantation. Difference in density. Yes, that is the weight of the substances. Difference in such. Next, we have the separation funnel. It also uses the principle of difference in density. And lastly, we have the evaporation. It uses the principle of difference in volatility. That is the tendency of a substance to evaporate. The one that has more tendency evaporates first before the other. A quick challenge. If you had a mixture of salt, sand, and water, how would you separate them step by step? Drop your answers in the comments below. The first 3 correct answers get a shout out in my next video. Thank you for watching today's video. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to my page, ChemSpark by Aisha, where we make chemistry as clear as pure water.